Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to run down the best sound setup that will work for any DSLR camera. You know, it might already have one microphone here that you put on the top, captures the general sound and it's doing a pretty good job. But maybe you might want to improve that a little bit. And I've got this little weapon here. It's actually an audio adapter. And what this does is that it allows you to use more than one microphone at a time. So this is what I'm going to show you and how this works. So essentially, it depends what kind of setup you go for, but this is the standard setup that I've been going with for a while. And the problem with DSLR cameras is that, you know, you've got the microphone jack, but there's only one. And therefore, you only manage to get in one channel of sound in at a time. If you're going to do interviews, a lot of people choose to opt for these radio mics. And you know, these have a lapel mic, which allows you to clip it close to the person you want to speak to. If it's a one-on-one interview, or if you're following one character, central character on a documentary, and you're focusing your entire short film around this one person that's roaming around and speaking to people, then this works wonderfully. But what if you want to combine both the wider surround sound with your more close-up sound? What this does is that these two are knobs, and they have a left and right point and a stereo point. So this is for two microphones to be used. And if you've already got a kind of video camcorder with a kind of built-in audio setup, then you don't need this. But this is really for those using DSLR and mirrorless cameras. Okay, so this is basically made by Saramonic, and it's called the AX100, the SR AX100. And make sure it is the AX100 because there's other models as well. But I find that this is the best one for my kind of filmmaking. Make sure that the knobs are on the back side, and then you just put that at the top. Looks like that. Very easy. And then what you need to do is, for the top mic, slide that in. And then instead of putting the jack through the microphone slot here, you pick a right or left. So for this, I'm just going to put it on my right. So all radio mics come with a transmitter and a receiver. And the transmitter is used on the subject you want to focus your audio on, and the transmitter is used to receive the audio and get it recorded into the system. Now, every transmitter will need a jack to connect into the socket. So basically, in the past, when I didn't have this audio adapter, I would have had to choose between using the general Rode mic or the transmitter, one or the other, and put that on here and connect it. But now I can use two. Every transmitter will look like this on the back. What you will need is one of these. You know, it has this thing on, which you can then put on here. So I'm going to put this on the back of my transmitter. Yeah, so what you want to do is make sure that the metal bar is not quite touching the screw, because otherwise it's not loose enough. Just want to make it loosen it so you can get it on here. So yeah, it kind of looks like that. And then I just tighten that. There you have it. And then what do you do with the jack? You put the jack on the other side, so in this case the left side. So you've got one on the left, one on the right. And how does that go in to the camera? Well, every audio adapter with the AX100 comes this jack. And this is what you need to get it recorded into the system. So what you do is put that in the out point, and then put it in the mic socket. And that's it. It's finished. This setup works amazingly for me because it's very compact, doesn't get in the way of my subjects. Like, I like to direct and shoot direct short documentaries about really intimate moments by certain people. And so, for example, like I once filmed this young lady who had cancer in her late 20s, breast cancer in her late 20s, and so she had to have her breast removed, and as a result of that she had no nipples left. And you know, this lady Katie, she welcomed me to a very intimate and personal moment of her life where she was visiting this makeup artist who is good at kind of doing makeup tattooing, and using those makeup tattooing skills, she tattooed a nipple for Katie, and I was able to capture that, and I basically used this setup for that as well. And I sort of decided when I got there, actually, when I saw the two of them in the same room, and it's like a really small room, and you know, there is no way that I could have had a separate sound man in that situation. It would just be, having a sound person would just be like intruding into that scene, you know. And sure, if it's like a studio setup, like a kind of like a TV show thing, or you know, like a cinematic documentary or something like that, then maybe a sound person might not be a bad idea. But I wanted to just be the only person in that moment, because the more people you have, the more kind of chaotic it becomes, and I just wanted to capture this unfolding intimate moment naturally, you know. And it's the filming technique for that is called observational filming, and so that's what I wanted to achieve. In order to do that, I need a small setup that's very compact and easy to maneuver, and you know, I can just kind of do that. And the great thing about this microphone is that this can capture the sound really well. So I would have the camera really close to the nipple where the tattooing was being done, and actually what happened during the course of it was that the two ladies would be talking to each other, and I actually wanted the sound coming from that conversation to be equal. And if I actually mic one person up, then the sound balance becomes biased, and that's okay in many scenarios, because actually this radio mic does pick up a lot of surround sound as well. But because there was all this tattooing going on, and you know when the needle is going, it's going zzz, makes that sound, and so actually I knew that the radio mic would pick up that sound as well, and so I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to switch off this and just go with the Rode mic. And for that, all I needed to do was move this from right to stereo. That's it. Very easy. I didn't have to take anything off, and it would automatically just, this cable would just automatically take the sound from whatever's set here. Very, very easy. So I hope that you found this little tip useful. Makes a huge difference to the working process. I certainly didn't know about it actually until last year, and the moment I found out about this little device, it just made all the difference in the world for me. I wish I just knew it right at the beginning when I was assembling this equipment together, you know, so that's why I'm sort of making a post about my setup and what I really like about it. So if you have any more questions, or if you want to follow up on how to use this, or anything else that you might have that's been burning in your mind but you don't know anyone you can ask it to, feel free to get in touch with me. Do subscribe to the channel for the updates, and you can get in touch at Hertographer on Instagram, on here, and on Twitter. Email is hertographer@gmail.com, or feel free to comment in the box below if you want to kind of have a conversation. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and see you on the next one.